Hi. So, a few songs about Ireland and my love for Ireland. Discovering that I was half Irish, and then discovering I had a little bit of Viking blood as well. So do settle down, welcome and enjoy. So this is, I call it the Anam Cara song, which I wrote. It's a Celtic spirituality theme, which is called Soul for a Soul. And it's about special friendship. It's kind of when you meet somebody that it's not necessarily about leaping into bed, but it could be as well, but it's not always about that. It's about meeting someone that you know you've known all your life and beyond, and that love never dies. A true love, true friendship. Friendship's very underrated. So this is it. When I saw your face so soft from love, gentle as the mountain dew, then my heart began to melt like icicles above the running stream in winter sun. There's naught to be done, there's only ever one, soul for a soul, oh. When the spring began to bloom with blossom on the cherry tree and yellow flowers on the broom, eggs were in their nests so warm beneath the down, they were pulsing with life anew. There's naught to be done, there's only ever one, soul for a soul, oh. Mermaids singing, seashells ringing, wave tops kissed by rainbow mist. Eagle in the summer sky, in cloudless blue, she circles overhead and rises high. And I feel that I am blessed as mountain bees fly close about my dreaming head. There's naught to be done, there's only ever one, soul for a soul, oh. So that's Soul for a Soul from background of Celtic spirituality, and the word in Celtic language for a deep soul friendship is Anam Cara. That's a beautiful idea. So when I first went to Ireland for the first time, I was on the ferry and I saw, going to Dublin, and I saw the hills behind Dublin. I was watching across the sea to see the coast of Ireland, and I knew that I would be coming home spiritually. And I wrote this song, which on the ferry really it came to me. And then I landed in Dublin, but I had a Jameson's whiskey on the ferry and wrote this. It's called The Irish Way. Sorry, start that again. It's all live, folks. You played the tin whistle in a way that I've never ever heard before. As I look into your dark eyes, well, I heard myself calling out for more. Your black hair hung down and curled all around in an ancient Celtic way. By the Irish way. You played those airs so pure. Ah, you played those tunes so sweet. I could see the Irish hillsides. I could hear those trudging feet. And then I saw us resting and caressing in the deep and I knew I was beguiled by the Irish way. Yeah. stand on Irish soil. For that day, I'm always trying. Your black hair hung down and curled all around in an ancient Celtic way. And I knew I was beguiled by the Irish way. Yeah, the Irish way. Yeah, the Irish way. Yeah, the Irish way. Yeah. Aye, that was the Irish way. There's a lot of passionate feeling within me coming out because I've been locked down. And yeah, I just loved, you know, coming into the dock in Dublin. And that was the first time I ever went to Ireland. And first thing I did, I'll just read you this little short paragraph, and then we'll do the song of the Irish exile to finish our travels to Ireland. So when we were in Dublin, I was with this friend, and I'll just read this to you. Then came the experience that made the whole trip worthwhile. We navigated our way to Merrion Row and found O'Donoghue's bar. It was for a traditional Irish music session and some draft Guinness, and I think a touch of the Murphys, the Black Gold. And it was a long, old-fashioned bar, quite intimate and small, but really packed and hot. There was a small semicircle of musicians seated at one end, and they were playing, it seemed, mainly for themselves, but they didn't mind us being there. A local man said to me, "If they don't like the crowd that's in, they won't play for them, so you're lucky tonight." And we were. There was one man was playing the guitar. He had a kind of suede waistcoat and long hair and a beard and jeans. There were two fiddle players. One of them was in his 70s and had long white shoulder-length hair with a cap jammed down on his head. There was one on a flute, another two on tin whistles. One was playing a banjo and another on a mandolin. And they would start slowish and sedate and with an air, you know, and then they'd gradually build up until they were flying and you with them. And I worked my way to the front and I stood near them, drinking in the sound as well as the Guinness. And, you know, tears came into my eyes, for I had this feeling that I was home at last. I closed my eyes and heard the jigs and reels and the many voices of the people talking and enjoying the night and counting my blessings to be there. Now, we might do that again, sometime post-lockdown. And that sound and that buzz, you know, in O'Donoghue's bar in Dublin is pure Irish magic. And then the one on the guitar was asked to sing a song. And he took the guitar up to another area and he sang, "The Water is Wide." I don't know if you know that beautiful song. The fiddles and the flute joined in and they were enhancing it and embroidering it in a most sensitive way. Very, just tugs at your heartstrings. And I promised myself I would learn and play that beautiful song. And the guitarist, he wore a t-shirt which said in green letters on the back, "When Irish eyes are smiling, you know they're up to something." Later I told him I liked his singing, and he said, "This pub's my local. Sure you can't buy this." And he gestured around the room and at his friends on the musical instruments. I began chatting with a young American who was there with her parents on holiday. She asked me about the pub, and as if I knew about it, and I told her I was new too, having just come from England that same day. And she said, "Oh, but you look Irish." And I told her I was half Irish. And she said that although she did not look it, she was too. And we both said how much our Irish roots meant to us. And when we parted, we hugged. You know, we used to do that sort of thing, didn't we? We hugged. And I said to her, "It's been great meeting you, and keep that Irish fire burning in your heart." And she said, "I will, but it's not in my face, like it's in your face, but it's in my heart," she said. And I got a wooden stool and sat next to a burren player. You know, a burren is an Irish drum. He was very late to come in, and before we left, I asked him about the curious beating stick he was using, like 6 fire tapers held together in the middle with red sticky tape. And he answered, "You call it a hot shot." Well, I'd never seen one of those. He was beating it on a small drum covered in animal skin with the fur still on it. And he told me it was deer skin. It made a great sound, I'd say kind of like hooves in a forest. And when we finally left, all the trains and buses had stopped. And it was ages before we could get a taxi back to the hotel, footsore, tired out. But I would have walked on hot coals for the evening that I just had in Dublin, in Ireland. So that was my introduction. Went back there many times, different places. In Ireland, of course, and Northern Ireland. So I'd like to sing finally for this little broadcast, Song of the Irish Exile. You know, there's none as sentimental as those who are half Irish. And there's none as sentimental as those who are Irish, but they had to leave and live in other countries. And of course that happened in after the potato famine. And this has a chorus if you want to join in for the last song. The chorus is, "Oh, Ireland, land of my heart, you are in my blood, you are a part of me. Oh, Ireland, land of my heart, you are in my blood and ever shall be." So whatever blood you have running in your veins, you can join in, because we're all human beings. And here we go. Right, here we go. Where I like to be, walking by the Atlantic Sea, the rollers smacking down, mountains all around. To America they sailed when the potato crop had failed, their fortunes to find, leaving Ireland behind. Chorus, oh Ireland, land of my You are in my blood, you are a part of me. Oh island, land of my heart, you are in my blood and ever shall be. Join in next time if you want. All across the world, wherever they roamed, they worked long and hard to send the money home. Take the men out of Ireland, you can't take Ireland out of the men. The rare old songs flowed from the exile's pen. I wish I was in Carrickfergus only 4 nights in Ballygrand. I would swim over the deepest ocean only 4 nights in Ballygrand. Chorus. Oh island, land of my heart, you are in my blood, you are a part of me. Oh island, land of my heart, you are in my blood and never shall be. Half of me is Viking, the other half is from the green, from the ghost of my father that I have never seen. But the music runs on like a vein to my son, like a bourne beating on, joining 3 into 1. We sing island, land of my heart, you are in my blood, you are a part of me. Oh island, land of my heart, you are in my blood and never shall be. Now he plays his own songs and his eyes are Irish blue, for the touch of the Celtic keeps on travelling through. When I return to Ireland once more, will I ever again leave her shore? All together, and a go. Oh island, land of my heart, you are in my blood, you are a part of me. Oh island, land of my heart, you are in my blood and ever shall be. You are in my blood and ever shall be. So that's the 3 songs that I had for you today, and We've been now, haven't we, to Scotland, we've been to the American West, we've been to Spain, and we've now been to Ireland. So let's see where we're going to go next, and I'll post on my timeline when we're going to have the next get-together and go somewhere else in the world, even though we're on lockdown. So thank you so much for being there. It means a lot. And it's great to be able to sing to you. So see you later. Have a good day. Bye. Thanks a lot.